my name is Seaburn Williams. I am from Boston, Massachusetts. I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia. Whoop, whoop. And yeah, I was featured on Netflix, The Circle, season 1, and I played the character Rebecca.
So I got to know off rip, right? When we talk about The Circle, what was that conversation like with your girl to be like, hey, so I got this opportunity to go on a show, win some money, but I'm not trying to go with me. Can I go with you? Like, so how did that, come about?
So the conversation had happened. It was a real quick conversation. So that conversation happened. She was actually sitting in my room watching a movie, and I had received a call from the network, and they had asked me what my strategy would be. And so me being me, I said, I want to be a catfish. They said, why? I said, because if I'm a catfish, then I'll have a lot more fun. And I said, I want to go in as a woman. And they was like, why? I said, because if I go in as a woman, I won't have to flirt with the other girls. And then I can walk the thin line with being a homie to the guys, because women can be tomboys or be girly girls, and the guys will accept them as one of the homies. So my original strategy was that, and I stuck to it. And it was that beauty. And then I walked in the room and I said, hey, what would be a good name? And then I was like, no, Rebecca. She said, what? I said, Rebecca. Beyonce said it. Becky with the good hair. I said, that's me. And she's like, okay. And then I said, but wait. I said, would you be willing to allow me to utilize your image so that I can catfish? She was like, huh? I said, would you be up for being on Netflix? She said, shit, yeah. And and it was really just a simple thing. She said, what do I have to do? I said, I'm gonna let them know that I'm a catfish as you, and I'm gonna let them know. And I said, my game plan is I'm gonna go in as a girl named Rebecca, and I'm just gonna use your image. She said, okay. She said, just let me know what I have to do, and I'm with it.
I ain't mad at that, bro. I ain't mad at that. Because even as you said it in your strategy, I'm like, you know what? He did do that, didn't he? Like, and I didn't even think about it. I was watching.
It was a grand slam strategy, because I just worked my plan. I already knew what I was going to do, and I did it. And it was just, I did it with finesse. That's the only thing I got to add to it, was a little finesse and smooth as butter.
I ain't mad at that. It worked out. It worked out for you. I can't lie to you, but when you got to the part when they had the conversations about the cramps, I'm like, me and him would have been in the same boat. I'm like, oh wait a minute. Now I don't, let me just not say too much if I give myself away.
Nah, I kid you not. Being a catfish on the show was one of the most like eye-opening things for me, because I've never catfished ever. Like, that was the first time and only time I've ever done it. So to have been that good at it, it was kind of scary, because I was like, wow, I can really do this. And I made it to top 5. Like, even during the Mother Nature chat where everyone was like, yeah, I thought you were going to get caught. I was like, I'm booking it fast as hell. Like, they gave me a whole episode, and it's literally labeled Mother Nature. Like, that I did that one, and that's an accomplishment for me, because I'm like, man, I really got to lay the foreground for it. And it's one of the most iconic jokes, because I was for real about it. Like, I was really, really like, that was all me, 100%. So it was like, it outstood the test of time, and people still talk about it to this day.
You definitely did your thing. I gotta give it to you. But just off that, like, when you introduced yourself, you said you were a caseworker. So I gotta know, like, how did this opportunity come about?
Well, I was working with people who are on the spectrum, and that right there was just one of the greatest jobs that I've ever had, because I got to tend to the need of other people. So while I'm doing that, I'm still auditioning, and also I'm signed to be a male model back home in Boston. So I was auditioning and doing commercials and things like that still while I'm doing this job. So I'm still auditioning for other shows. So that same year, I had got a call back from the $100,000 pyramid. And then I had got a call back from Ellen's Game of Games. I had got a call back from CBS, and then I had got a call back from another network. And so I was already fishing the market to see what show I could get on. And then I was already signing paperwork to be on like, oh, Are You Smarter Than the Fifth Grader, Nickelodeon. So I was already fishing the market, and I was already being offered the position on these shows. And then Netflix came and they was like, hey, and I didn't know it was Netflix. They just said, hey, we have a new show. We think you would be a great fit for it. It's a concept show. We just want to see if you would be up to auditioning. And I said, you know what? Let me go through the process, because what more can they say is no? Then I move on with my life and I still have other opportunities. So this was like the 5th show that came to me, and it was number 5. And I just was like, it kept coming. It kept coming and it kept coming. And I went through the different process, and eventually they flew me out to London, and I was playing the game. Following your dream is what's eminently going to continue to flourish. Like, yeah, you can work a regular job and do what you don't love to do, but why not take a chance and do what you love? Because if you fail, at least you tried.
Who may have inspired you growing up?
Oh man, who inspired me? Really? My heroes were Jamie Foxx, Marlon Wayans, Will Smith, John Witherspoon, all of the great comedians that have come before me. Red Fox, Robin Harris, Richard Pryor, all of those guys, they inspired me. And I actually got in trouble to Tommy Davidson because he said a swear, and I said it right after him. And then I was like, my mother, she popped me, bow. She said, don't say that. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. And so I grabbed my blue blanket with the little silk on it, and I grabbed my brown teddy bear, and I opened the front door, slammed it, boom. So I said, I'm running away. Slammed that joint, made it seem like I was gone. And then I hid in the kitchen cabinet. And that for me, that was my siding spot. And, you know, it just was one of those things that I knew that I was just born to do.
Looking at it, right? Looking what you accomplished, what you did, what you're doing now. Do you have any advice, maybe anybody may want to try it for themselves? Like, you know, any sort of tips or tricks or anything like that?
Tips, I would say just do it. Starting is the greatest thing that you can do, because most people can't get past the idea of, I want to do it. Just do it. And don't hold back when you get started, because yes, it's gonna get hard, but that's the beauty of it, is to know that eventually you will find your groove and you can do it. You can do it.